crafty friends, this is Jenny from crafttestdummies.com, and today we're going to talk about markers, new ones from Stampin UP. They're called Blendabilities, and they have a twin tip, and they're alcohol based, and we're going to find out how they work. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's take a look at these markers. You'll notice right away that they actually are being sold in these sets of 3. And so each one is its own color family, and you will find that they are not round barrels, but rather like a square barrel so that they don't roll off your table, which I really like. Also, it's going to tell you the color right away. So this is Night of Navy. And it's got 2 different caps. The barrel itself will indicate that it's a bullet point or if it's the brush tip, which is kind of awesome. So, they're a little hard to get off, which is good, I suppose, because we actually want it to be on there nice and firm. They're little grippy strips here for your fingers. And now I'm gonna just use the fine point to write my name, like so, and then we're going to use the brush tip. Again, it's really, they're stuck on there good. All right, and there's your brush tip, just like so, which is kind of fun. All right, let's go look at some swatches. Let's take a look at a few swatches I've done. I was using the Coral color family to do this little swatch test, and I just laid down some color and did some preliminary blending. So here you can see the darkest to the lightest and how you can get a pretty decent gradation. I also picked up some of the dark color on the lighter color and then scribbled it out just to kind of see how that played out, and it worked out pretty well. As you can see here, this is not glossy cardstock. This is a matte cardstock, so it does absorb. And just if you've never used alcohol-based markers, you have to know that they will bleed through. So just make sure that you don't color on your final project. You color on a piece of paper then that you put on your final project because it bleeds through. So here's a couple things though. I love to use alcohol-based markers on different things just to custom color them. So this was a clear rhinestone and a plain silver heart that I colored in. I colored in a button. This is like a canvasy embellishment, and then this was an ivory flat back pearl. So they worked pretty well on all of them. You might want to give it 2 coats on things like the button, and even on the sequin here. Didn't work great with just 1 coat. So this is a piece of white ribbon, and I just drew a line down the edge, and I just wanted you to see how it bleeds out. So if you're going to color ribbon, make sure you color the whole piece, otherwise you will get this capillary action, or you might like that ombre effect. I just wanted you to know. And then down here, I'm going to actually come on up a little closer. I colored directly onto a red rubber stamp and then stamped the image. So that's kind of a nice thing too. With that brush tip, you actually can use it as a mini portable stamp pad. Nice, right? Okay. So now let's take a look at just a little bit of coloring that I did on this piece of heavier weight cardstock. And I did a little bit of blending, but you can see that the colors are really rich and vibrant. And again, they do bleed through. Now, I didn't get a blender pen with this set, so I had to use another brand blender pen, but I found that it works very well. It's compatible with other alcohol marker systems. Now, I put some color down, and this is actually a set of 3 of the blues on some glossy cardstock, and then I used some just rubbing alcohol just to see how much it would move. And the truth is, it doesn't really want to move. When I colored over top, it will push the colors around a bit. So the pen that had less pigment actually pushed the bolder, darker one kind of out of the way. But once you put them down, even if you add alcohol, they don't really want to move a whole lot. Just so you know, once you put them down, they want to stay put. Okay, last samples here. these are just some images that I stamped. This is a Stampin UP Poppy. And the first one I did actually is this purple one here. Let it focus. And I stamped it, and then I actually also embossed the image. And it worked out okay. I just don't think, I don't know, I didn't do a very good job of coloring. I didn't leave enough room for the light values. So then I decided to do it again, and I used the corals. I didn't emboss it this time, and I actually used some of the grays. So I used 3 coral colors and gray to try and get more depth. And I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I think that's kind of pretty. Certainly I am no great colorist, and I also didn't have any yellow in this set, so I would definitely, I always need a yellow. Buy a yellow. Just take my advice, buy a yellow. But I'm happy with the way it worked with the Tuxedo black Memento ink. It did not cause any smearing at all. All right, last thing, one more thing, because you know I had to have one more thing. And this, boom, is a TARDIS image, and I went ahead and drew it with my brother's Scan and Cut, and then cut it out, and then I colored it out using my Stampin' Up markers, and I used a little bit of white paint pen and some cutouts that I found online, but boy, I am really happy with that. Again, remember, bleeds through, so always do your coloring and then attach the finished project onto whatever. So I think this may be a little shadow box image for my daughter. But what I really liked about this is that I tried some other alcohol markers with my Scan and Cut markers, and they bled. But the Stampin' Up! Blendabilities did not bleed, and therefore were compatible with my Scan and Cut pens. So that's kind of a handy dandy tip. So I hope this was helpful to you. You got a nice overview of how the Blendabilities alcohol-based markers work from Stampin' Up! Come on, camera, focus. Ta-da! There it is. I just bought a new camera, and it's learning how to autofocus. So I hope this is helpful. Please give it a thumbs up, and we would love it if you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a crafty day.